"Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." A quote once stated by heavyweight boxing champion Muhammad Ali. It's a value that has been instilled within me from a very early age. As a second-generation immigrant and Muslim woman, I know firsthand the intergenerational conflict that comes with navigating multiple identities. I'm very fortunate to be able to serve my community by combining my passion for sport and education to enhance the lives of young people. That passion was instilled by my father, an Egyptian engineer who migrated to Australia in the early 70s, with football running through his veins. Liverpool fans in the house may call Mo Salah the Egyptian king, but I believe my dad, Mo Hilal, is the Egyptian king. For without his support, his guidance, and belief in equality, I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have today. Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. Nelson Mandela saw the opportunity to heal his nation through sport. By its very nature, sport is about participation and inclusion. I used to coach a group of refugee girls every Saturday morning, and occasionally the attendance levels were quite low, so I encouraged them to play with the boys. However, their level of involvement was limited to just staying at the back, waiting for the ball to come to them, or standing in as goalkeeper. So I encouraged the boys to be more inclusive, but they just wanted to get on with scoring. So what I did was I changed up the rules such that the goal scorers need to alternate in gender. And almost instantly, the attitude and energy levels changed. The boys started passing more to the girls, and the girls became more involved. But it was almost as if they needed permission to participate. And you see this in the classroom as well, where girls are hesitant to contribute for fear of being judged or bullied. All girls must know that their voice is just as important as anyone's. And it's for this reason that the Creating Chances vision must thrive. And what is the Creating Chances vision? It's to create a more inclusive and cohesive society by providing opportunities for all young people to become empowered and to reach their potential. Did you know, though, that the conflict in Syria has lasted longer than World War II, and that more than half of all Syrians impacted by the conflict are children? Young refugees and migrants demonstrate high levels of resilience and resourcefulness and have the potential to be active participants in and contributors to Australian society. However, they do experience disadvantage and barriers to accessing opportunities and services, particularly around language barriers, limited social capital, racism and discrimination. Mariam grew up in the capital of Syria, Damascus, one of the oldest cities in the Middle East, once known as the Pearl of the East for its beauty and lushness, and a World Heritage Site. The conflict in Syria has lasted over 8 years, but now Damascus is now known as the world's least livable city. Mariam often recalls the joy that she experienced watching her brothers play competitive football in Iraq and Syria, and often on the sidelines would play with the boys and show them a skill or two. But imagine how you would feel if your school teammates were given the opportunity to compete against other teams while you're the team captain, but you were prevented from competing because you weren't a Syrian citizen. Now imagine traveling over a day across dangerous checkpoints and borders to fly out of a safe zone to a new place, a place halfway across the world you know nothing about, no English, leaving your friends and everything you know behind. But moving forward, 15-year-old Mariam arrives in Australia in 2015 and starts her school journey at the Intensive English Centre in Liverpool, Western Sydney. Within the first 6 months, she joins Creating Chances and Football United, and this allows her an opportunity to build her confidence to meet new people, but also to reignite that love for sport and for the creative arts. So after that, Mariam was offered the opportunity to coach children in her local community and develop the leadership and life skills in order to do that every week. And we're very fortunate to have Mariam. Her natural leadership ability is to be admired. Over a 4-year period, she was a participant, a camp leader, a coach, a staff member, and a role model to all of us. So how do we do it? Our methodology represents a paradigm shift in how we deliver sport programs to young people. We move from looking at fixing problems to building on strengths. So instead of looking at young people as problems or as recipients of the program, we look at young people as resources, as active partners in the program. Mariam now uses her voice and her power and influence and experience to advise on youth issues that impacts thousands of young people with the Greater Sydney Commission, and is now undertaking a degree in international relations, or international studies, sorry, and media at her dream university. This is just one story out of hundreds of young people that we work with every single week. If you want to impact young people like Mariam, this is what needs to happen. We are looking for, or we need $84,000. Each program is worth $21,000 across 30 weeks of the year, which whittles down and breaks down into being $450 per young person across the year. And what that is that we want to extend across 4 intensive English centres that will impact 80 young leaders who will go through 10 weeks of leadership workshops, sport leadership workshops, that will give them the skills and qualifications to deliver 20 after-school sports sessions to 400 children in their community. So with the right framework, leadership fosters leadership, creating chances and solutions that matter. In a nutshell, this is how champions are made. Thank you.